Game 5 of the 2025 World Series will always be the Savage game. Rookie Trey Savage, 7-inning, 12 strikeout performance has the Blue Jays now one win away from their first title since 1993. They return home to Toronto with 2 chances to win a championship. Manager John Snyder can't wait for the environment at Rogers Center on Friday.
It feels great. I can't wait. It's, for one, it's nice to be back here, you know what I mean, and sleep in your own bed. But I can't wait to see what this place is like tomorrow. You know, watching it on video from across the country with the people here watching. Never seen anything like that. Never seen a watch party like that. So I'm excited as hell to see what this place is like tomorrow. The guys are too. They're talking about it as well. We can't wait. You know, you kind of want the game to start right now, but it should be fun.
I think it's more of, you know, all that being said, intent, mechanics, I think right now, you know, we got to find a way to win one game. And I could dive into my thoughts, but I think at the end of the day, they've just got to compete and fight in the batter's box. And it's one-on-one, the hitter versus the pitcher, and that's it. I mean, I think that, you know, that sort of mindset is all I'll be looking for. And, you know, and expect good things to happen from that.
And for more, we welcome in CBS Sports MLB analyst Chris Welsh. And Chris, this is a Blue Jays team that, if we all recall, they finished in last place in the AL East last season. There was a lot of talk before the season that Vlad would have to be traded. And now look at us. They're one win away from their first World Series title in 32 years. Just how do you view this playoff run for Toronto right now?
It's incredible. I mean, it's a great testament, too, if you think about the storylines that are connected as well. Like, there was a time where, remember, Ohtani was on a plane to join the Blue Jays, and the organization has just taken multiple different steps in probably the toughest division in baseball. It's incredible what is going on, and it's great for baseball. As far as parity, I think you could argue, you know, from a rating standpoint, people, oh, Dodgers, but, you know, from a parity standpoint, you want to see this. And I think it's just a very David versus Goliath type of situation that we've run into. I mean, the Blue Jays, they actually remind me similar of some years back, that Royals team, where they just kind of did a little bit of everything. It didn't have the star power. Obviously, the Dodgers are a star power team. The Blue Jays have Vladimir Guerrero, but outside of that, you're kind of lacking it across the board. But it is a complete baseball team. They're holding the Dodgers offense in check. They're beating them down with kind of a smaller ball type of approach. Their pitchers have been consistent, and their bullpen has been absolutely one to count on. So it's an incredible one. It's a great traditionalist baseball thing that we're seeing. And if they're able to pull it off against the Goliath that is the Dodgers, I think it's going to be more reason to celebrate baseball, and then obviously Toronto.
Yeah, just like the story goes, David, so far in this one, having their way against Goliath. But you talked about star power, because there are a lot of options for this. It could be Vladdy. It could be Trey Savage. But who do you believe right now is the World Series MVP through 5 games?
Okay, so the books never lie. And what they're telling us right now is, first you have Vladimir Guerrero, and then the second is Shohei Ohtani. And that's the hedge to say, you know, if the Blue Jays win, obviously the offensive bat always kind of takes the extra step. If the Dodgers come back, it's going to be to Ohtani, simply because of what he's done on the mound and as far as what he's done at the plate. But I got to tell you, I think if this game ends at 6, I think Trey Savage is someone we should be paying attention to, just because, you know, this World Series outing he had, obviously record-breaking. You guys have talked about it, the 12 strikeouts, but over 2 starts now. Remember, he started off the World Series, a rookie star. This guy was drafted last year. He started off the World Series first match. He was solid in that. He went 4, did give up 3 earned runs, but struck out 5, struck out 12. He's up to 17. Since 2000, we have only had 5 pitchers, technically 6 if you count 2001, where it was a co-MVP for Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling, of pitchers that have won the MVP award. And he meets the criteria. He's up there in strikeouts. He's had multiple appearances. I think this team has not had necessarily one person that has excelled across the board. Barger's been good. Vlad has been good. Alejandro Kirk has been great in the playoffs. But if you think of the totality of it, and if they're able to take this in 6 in Toronto, I think you're going to have to look at a guy like Trey Savage and what he's done, that this is an MVP caliber performance, even though the odds makers are not telling us right now that it is a pitcher. I would say at this moment, it is the young rookie pitcher, Trey Savage.
We saw something that we have not seen I mean, a very, very long time in that performance from Trey Savage. And then you look at what he was able to do against this all-star. It's hard to even find someone that's not an all-star on this Dodgers lineup. Most certainly deserves a lot of credit to getting the Blue Jays to where they are right now. But let's go back to this Dodgers team, because this is a team that many thought would just roll to the championship. But now they're sitting on the brink of elimination. You think of their payroll, you think of their performance over the Brewers. What kind of pressure now is on LA to avoid losing this World Series?
Oh, it's all the pressure in the world. Just take off the money, take off the star power, take off the money, the obvious stuff. But you look at what this team was built for. This team is built to score runs on command. Ridiculous top three, from going from Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts to Freddie Freeman. It is built around that. They've also got, I mean, it kind of gets underrated, the starting pitchers from Yamamoto. Snell had lesser of a game, but they've got these great pitchers. But they are meant to be out here, money aside, to just bully teams around. But what have we had all season? We've had inconsistency. We've had bullpen issues. Of all the things, with all the money spent, you can't have bullpen issues, and they have. So I think, the pressure is immense. This is one of those organizations. It's similar to the Yankees. You could look at, the Lakers in basketball. Like, if they don't win a championship, it's a losing year. They can make it all the way here, and they're going to look at this as a failure at the end of the day. So I think the pressure is immense. And then you take on top of it, by the way, that they're meant to bully teams around. They have been bad offensively. I mean, in the game one, the top three were 1 for 15. I mean, the offense has just been abysmal. So they've got the money has to pick it up. So I think the pressure is big. It's way bigger than Toronto, by the way. It is immensely bigger than Toronto.
Yeah, you talk about a team that's meant to bully. It's currently looking like they are the ones that have been bullied, and even in their own house. But meanwhile, Kevin Gausman, he took the loss in game 2. Now he has that chance at redemption against a Dodger lineup that is, we got to be honest, it's pretty cold right now. What are you expecting from him on Friday night?
Well, what I'm interested in first is if there's going to be any change, because the expectation for Kevin Gausman tends to kind of be what we know. And what we know is he's a 2-pitch pitcher. He's a fastball splitter guy. He was predominantly first pitch strikes with his fastball. Against right-handed hitters, it was predominantly fastballs. Left-handed is where the mix comes up. And what's interesting about that is Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani kind of have like a career struggle against him. And that is because it is a much more alteration between the fastball and splitter. So I say all of that to say that, is he going to be able to get past some of his limitations? He gave up a couple homers in that first outing because right-handed hitters, I think, have a better advantage against him. Will lefties be able to take advantage? His fastball has to be on, and his splitter. Both pitches have to be on, or it's going to be a long day. So I think he's going to have to pitch. It's cliche, but he's going to have to pitch the game of his life, especially being able to just go fastball splitter against this monster team. So I think it is it's a tall task, even though the Dodgers are behind. Yamamoto's a monster. I think it's a taller task for Gausman to get past this lineup.
Okay, well, you brought him up, so we might as well talk about him. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he's thrown back-to-back complete games in the postseason. Just given how their offense has looked, they're going to need a similar performance. So what's your level of confidence that Yamamoto can once again just put this team on his back, this time facing elimination?
I couldn't agree with you more. This is key. He is everything for this team, not only just because he is phenomenal, but this is an opportunity for them to stay away from that bullpen. That is a little bit of an issue. Then we're going to have some bigger questions if Yamamoto can't go deep. But he had 17 whiffs in that last start. From a stuff perspective, I'll give you a little outline. All of his non-fastball pitches had an exit velocity under 90 miles per hour. So that is weak contact with those secondary pitches that he's really good with. But his fastball had a 98 mile per hour exit velocity against. So what that means is these guys are smashing the fastball. He had 4 hits over 100. That didn't amount to anything. So he gave up a lot of hard hit contact, and some of those big hard hit balls should have done a lot worse, and they didn't. So we are going to have an extraterrestrial outing again from Yamamoto, where he can go deep, he can rely on those secondaries, not have to go to the fastball. So the Blue Jays are not going to be able to kind of beat the ball around, get runners on, move them over, and play that small ball that they do. I think they really need him to go 7, and I think they're going to push him as far as they can. And I do think this is the pitcher that you would want for the Dodgers in this spot.
Okay, so Chris, I'm going to put you on the spot now, because can Yamamoto do that? Let's put a pick to it. Do the Blue Jays go on to win the World Series on Friday night, or will Yamamoto have a big night? Will the Dodgers bats wake up? Will we get a Game 7?
If you're a Dodger fan, I believe there's going to be more treat than trick on Halloween. I am going to take the Los Angeles Dodgers, regardless of what I said before. You know, their offense really struggled, but you know, one thing that's out there, they're talking about it. They know that type of ball that they've played, they have just been behind. They have to score runs. And something I think you're going to see, Mookie Betts actually has a pretty good track record. He hits almost 300 against Gausman in his career. Look for Mookie to maybe get involved. And Andy Paz has been a big topic of discussion because of how bad he's been. He's actually pretty good against Kevin Gausman. So that could be two players that could step up in this. I think they're going to get to Gausman early, who gave up the 2 runs. And then I think they are going to play aggressive pitching baseball. Yamamoto goes deep. Maybe you get to Roki, and they're going to hold this one down to take us to a wonderful Game 7 where, you know, all our cards are on the table and anything can happen.
I'm just going to say this has been a fantastic series. I mean, you think about what we got to see in Game 3. I think just baseball fans, we deserve a Game 7. So just non-biasly, I'd love to see that happen. As always, Chris, we appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the insight. Thank you. Well, history is on the Blue Jays side on Friday night. They have never lost a Game 6 of the World Series in their history. In 1992, they beat the Braves, and in 93, Joe Carter hit that walk-off home run to lead Toronto past the Phillies. So who's going to play the role of hero this time around? First pitch set for just after 8 Eastern on Friday.
Game 5 in the World Series showed us when the Blue Jays start hot, they can take down anyone. Back-to-back home runs to start the game off. Blake Snell gave Toronto the lead, and they never looked back. Add on an all-time performance from Trey Savage, and the team up north is now just 1 game away from not only raising the Commissioner's Trophy for the first time since 1993, but also an opportunity to halt a dynasty. So what does LA do with their backs against the wall? How about they throw out the guy who tossed a complete game last week? Game 6, we'll see Yoshinobu Yamamoto take on Kevin Gausman again. Dodgers obviously won the previous matchup between these two pitchers on the back of Yamamoto. Gausman has just 1 win this postseason and is 0-2 in his career against the Dodgers in the postseason. So let's welcome on our friend Matt Snyder here. Jays just 1 game away from their first title since 1993. How the heck did we get here, and what would a Toronto win mean for Major League Baseball, considering the team on the other side seemed almost inevitable, Matt?
Yeah, I think it would be good news for baseball as a whole because we still wouldn't have a repeat champion since 2000, and that's good. People like things to be different. People get annoyed when you have teams stacking titles over and over, and one of the big complaints you hear about people when they want a salary cap is it's just the same teams every year. Well, it's not. The Blue Jays haven't been here since 1993, and if they win it, that's some good variation there. How did we get here? The Blue Jays offense, top to bottom, for the most part, has just been relentless since late May. And the Dodgers kind of stopped hitting in this series for the most part. We've seen a few instances, like in Game 3, before we got to extra innings, where the Dodgers bounced back multiple times, but that was mostly Shohei Ohtani doing the heavy lifting there. The Blue Jays are getting it from everybody. You saw David Snyder hardly had started any games. Then he starts Game 5, hits a solo home run to start things off, but they can also do it with the star power. Vlad Guerrero Jr. follows with a home run there. So it's been just all over the offense for the Blue Jays, and that's just what they've been doing since late May.
Yeah, Yamamoto hoping to slow down that offense. He'll be back on the bump. Went well his last time out, holding the Jays to just 1 run with a complete game. How much confidence do you have in his ability to put up another performance like that?
A little bit of confidence, or closer to a lot. Let's say my level of confidence 1 to 10, like a 7. Okay. I always say the second time that a team sees you within a week, they have a better idea of what your stuff looks like, what the shape of your pitches look like from the batter's box, and can make adjustments. But that isn't a hard and fast rule because we just saw Trey Savage throw against the Dodgers for the second time in less than a week, and he completely carved them up. So there's a chance Yamamoto could go out and deal again. I like the Blue Jays getting a second look at him at home where they're so good. I still think the Dodgers are going to get him late into the game as long as he doesn't get shelled, and I don't expect that to happen, but he's not going to throw another complete game would be my best guess. And probably, let's say, I'll throw some numbers out here. Let's say he goes 7 innings pitched and gives up 3 runs.
Okay, there we go. So we have the confidence meter and a prediction. We're getting it all from Matt Snyder. On the other side, we got Kevin Gausman starting for the home team. You mentioned the reason for success for the Blue Jays. They've been hitting well. Conversely, the Dodgers have not. part of that has been Shohei Ohtani. So can he return to form against Gausman?
Yeah, I think so. But I also think it might look similar to Game 3. If he gets a couple big hits early, then they might just start putting him on. They did move the lineup around a little bit, so you have Will Smith behind him instead of Mookie Betts, who is that's one of the big things for the Dodgers. What has not gone right for them this series is Mookie Betts is completely broken. They need the real Mookie Betts back. And then that rounds out the top 4 of the lineup there with Will Smith and Freddie Freeman. I almost wonder if they could put Freeman right after Ohtani. I know you don't like having 2 left-handers back-to-back, but Freeman would be the best protection for Ohtani right now to prevent the Blue Jays from the walk party that we saw in Game 3. But yeah, I think that we should expect to see very good at-bats, very comfortable at-bats from Ohtani against Kevin Gausman tonight.
So, who wins this game?
I mean, I keep going back and forth on this one again, and I did it last game. I just feel like the Blue Jays are going to win this series, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. So I'll go with the Blue Jays and say they get it done tonight, but I would not be surprised one bit if Yamamoto goes out and dominates and then forces a Game 7. But then I do think the Blue Jays will win in Game 7 if it gets there. So I do think the Blue Jays win the series. Tonight, I'll take the Blue Jays, but I'm not confident at all. It's a toss-up. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, you certainly did not seem confident. It sounded like I caught you off guard with that. It's been so tight. Certainly, we deserve a Game 7 based on what we've seen so far in this series. But when it is all said and done, who do you think will win the World Series MVP?
So I'm going with the Blue Jays. Probably you have to say Vladimir Guerrero Jr. there if the Blue Jays win it. I know they still have to win one more game, but we've got an impressive body of work right now, and that was a huge home run to put them up 2-0 last game, and he's the big name. So I think it's probably Vlad Guerrero Jr. if the Blue Jays win it. Obviously, Ohtani's going to win if the Dodgers win it. So I'll go with Vlad Guerrero. You know what? Yamamoto's odds there aren't that bad, though, because if the Dodgers win tonight, it's probably going to be because of a dominant Yamamoto outing, and then you'll have 2 of those out of the 4 wins if the Dodgers win. So if somebody's looking for a sprinkle on some big odds there, Yamamoto's worth a look.
There we go. We get it all from Matt Snyder. Appreciate you. And of course, here on CBS Sports HQ, we will hit every highlight and we'll be up immediately after the game. Don't worry, our crew was up after that 18th inning marathon earlier in this series, so keep it locked in to CBS Sports HQ.